Okay, welcome everybody to a new conversation on our show, Wisdom Conversations. Today we have a new guest who I just met, and I really love his energy so far. His name is Kent Peterson. He's a personal coach with a background with information from Abraham Hicks and Bashar. And we're going to talk a little bit about his recent experience. He just went down to Bashar's latest live event, which is really exciting because Bashar hasn't done a live experience in a while. So Bashar did a live event weekend in Sedona, which is his like central vortex where his ship is and a strong vortex point. And Kent Peterson went and joined that whole experience. And he's going to share with us what happened. What happened down there, Kent?
Yeah, okay. So Bashar had two different talks, and I was meeting up with friends from a group called like Power Manifesting Collective. I had actually met them in person before, so a bunch of manifesting people got together, spent some time with them, and so we showed up early and met up with people who were also going to the Bashar talk and went hiking with them up some
Oh,
place I
hell
don't
yeah.
know, the Noma. Yeah, so yeah, we already got together. Everyone was hiking. Then we also went to a UFO tour, which was like UFO watching in Sedona, which was amazing. We saw UFOs. And then we went to the actual Bashar transmissions, and it was big. I want to say there was 750 people were there,
Oh,
which
wow.
like,
Yeah.
yeah, when I first started seeing Bashar live years ago, like before COVID and stuff, they were much smaller. Only like 100 people were showing up, something like that. Um, and then we had VIP tickets, so we're pretty front row as well, right? So I was like maybe 4 rows from actually being there with him. And when Daryl channels him in and brings him through, and he comes through, his energy is like so powerful, and it's one of my favorite parts to experiencing Bashar live. And one of the people in our group, we had a group of like 5 people, I think, actually even got to ask a question during the first transmission.
Oh my God.
Um,
So
yeah,
exciting.
right. The first transmission was titled Sedona, the Intergalactic City,
Oh,
and
wow.
it's about how the portals around Sedona are vortices, the portals that open up, and then intergalactic travel occurs.
Oh,
Um,
wow. Okay. So they got
uh,
like almost like an airport in a way, like you got UFOs coming in and out and different from
yeah,
different dimensions and different ETs are coming in there.
yeah. He even described it sort of like that. And then like kind of like a tangent on that the UFO tour, they also talked about it like that as well, where it's like this portal where all these UFOs are coming and going. Um,
Wow.
and so yeah, it's basically how to think of it. And so he has like an intro monologue, and he shared a lot of stuff, which I thought of more of review. And then the first day had the questions and answers, and um, it's like my friend that was there, she asked a question like, what's the answer to the question that I don't know how to ask? And it led to him answering it about you know what you need to know when you need to know it.
Oh, right.
um
I like that
yeah,
one.
yeah, so it's that kind of a thing. And then the second day was titled like Bell Rock, and Bell Rock is the point that his ship is over, and he says it's the very center of the vortex of Sedona. And he
Wow.
says all of Sedona is a vortex, and then there's like smaller vortices within it. Um, and then the second day there was a lot more of the like very specific, nuanced questions. Where people ask like the more advanced people or whatever, like somehow they were all synchronistically in order, right? And they
Right.
they asked the questions, they got like the very specific answers. And on that, he gave a permission slip to hike Bell Rock and to ohm, like the yogic ohming, right? At
Right.
1.6 gigahertz frequency
Okay.
to open up a portal on Bell Rock. Um, and so after we actually did that, my group of friends went, but only 2 of us
Oh,
actually made it as up pretty high on it. And when we got there was a group of Bashar people already there, and they were all so we all like gathered together and like owned together at the frequency and like everyone in the group had like different experiences of what happened, but like basically the consensus is we did open a portal and there was like birds like spiraling around us and even the clouds like spiraled and
No
there's
kid.
probably like 11 of us when we started and people like speaking light language and it was really
Wow.
interesting. And way up, way up. Here it's like 700 feet to the top. We were probably like 600 feet of the way up or something like that.
Wow.
And then from there it gets like really, really sketchy. And then by the time we were done with that experience, there's probably like 25 people around us, like all gathered around. Um, anyway, those are some of the highlights. You have any questions or comments on any of that?
Wow, that, oh my God, I'm just trying to kind of get a sense of what I would feel like if I was one, I think I would be excited just to be in Sedona.
Yeah,
Two, I mean, Bashar, and I can imagine just all the 700 people of these people, they're just excited into Bashar. Oh my God, I can just, I think I'm picking the energy off of you right now. I'm just feeling that, like, wow, that must have been just ecstatic and just heartfelt and just exciting. It's like, what's going to happen? Like, we're moving into open contact and it's almost happening like right before our eyes or something. Um, wow, I love that you, so he gave you the permission slip on like the second day, it sounds like you said,
yeah.
to go up there and do the 1.6 gigahertz frequency in the ohm. And you guys did it the next day or right after?
Right
you guys,
after, yeah.
you guys are ready to go. Oh my God, I love this energy, the energy of like, we're ready. Like, I feel that I'm just feel it in the Bashar community. It's like, we're excited and we're ready. Like, stuff feel like it's happening right now. Like, do you feel that same energy?
Oh yeah, I felt it really strong being there because like there's definitely some of the newer people, but there's definitely people who've been going there for like a long time. And like talking to people that Bashar Heist excitement formula, right? So everyone there is just like so excited to be there, and like the we all went up there. The group that went up there were like intending to open portals together to bring through extra terrestrials, interdimensionals, whatever, right? It's like
Yeah.
it's all there. And as I was saying to you, like right before the call, like Bashar said a little while ago, between 2026 and 2027, there's a 95% chance of a major contact event that's going to be occurring. And one of my thoughts on that, based on what he's been saying, his ship above Sedona. Oh, another thing he said during that transmission was his ship came down to 700 feet, keeps getting closer, but
Right.
700 feet now. Yeah.
Right.
And when that was happening, I could feel the energy like right. It's like so powerful. And then Bashar himself is like pumping out his energy. And anyway, so my guess is the major contact event point might be Sedona. I'm just thinking. He didn't say that, but that's my interpretation.
It sounds like it. Yeah, it sounds like it totally could be. And there may be some people watching this show that aren't familiar with Bashar too much and the 700 feet thing, but Bashar has been telling us for I think years now about this gauge about how ready the Earth is ready for open contact by this saying how far his ship is above Sedona is about how ready we are for contact. And it's been kind of coming down and coming down. And it's like, first it's like some 50,000 miles or whatever. And we've gotten to the point where it's at 700 feet. So, I mean, he's basically, it's like, what does that even mean? It's like basically he's on the ground. I mean, how much lower can you get than 700 feet, right? I mean,
Yeah.
what is it going to be next transmission? 500 feet, 700 inches, like,
Yeah. Yeah, right. And he says it's like right above Bell Rock.
right. And I imagine it must mean something like, because you could look up and I don't think you would actually see the ship like you'd see like a metallic ship. But what does that mean? What is your take on that? Is it kind of like shifting in a different frequency or different dimension in a way?
Yeah. He actually said that directly. One of the questioners asked him that. Like, if we look up, can we see it there? He's like, no, we're in a slightly different frequency or dimension or whatever words he used. So we're not quite there. Because like he talks about like Essassani, the star system. It's like, I don't know, some part past Orion's belt or something like that. But he said
Mhm.
it's also in a slightly different dimension. So his ship is still
Right.
in a slightly different dimension. In the same way that he says like Sasquatch, like he says humans are like evolved Sasquatch, but this they can like phase into a slightly different dimension. I think it's
Oh,
something
right.
like that.
Right. Makes sense. Makes sense. Because we've got like either different dimensions or also different parallel realities too. But
Yeah,
um, the energy representation, I think for me, it just sounds like it's super close. It's just
yeah,
like, it's like very close for him to say. I mean, even if he said like 1 mile or 2 miles, that would have been shocking. But 700 feet, we're in feet.
yeah,
That's crazy.
yeah, right. And it really coincides with the major contact event around 2026, 2077, because we're talking 3 to 4 years. So the energy is strong.
Wow. God, that must have been so exciting. I would have so loved to have gone there with you. I can't imagine what that felt like and the excitement. Because it was a whole weekend event too, right? It was like multiple days of
Yeah,
both connecting to the event, but also you must have had a lot of good connections with all the people down there, I imagine
yeah,
too.
yeah. After the event, we also went to one of the participants' house and had like a sound bath there as well. So we gathered with more Bashar people. I want to say like 15, 20 people showed up to that.
Wow.
Um, and then like in between, we would be going to like hiking. Like you asked about Cathedral Rock, we went up there. So it was just kind of like nonstop doing different things, running into Bashar people. And then when I was there, I actually ran into other Bashar people that I knew that I didn't know was going to be there, so that kind of a thing too.
Wow, what a great, what an incredible mix of excitement. All those components all together. You got the people, you got this being in this intergalactic vortex city. Like, wow, sounds so incredible. I got to get out there. I got to get out there. Like, I need
Yeah.
to get out to the Sedona.
Yeah, speaking of Sedona, like talks about the vortex energy, and I imagine some people are more sensitive than others. But I found as soon as I was driving in, even before I got to the sign that said you're at the city limits, I started feeling the energy of it. And it's like started getting all excited, started getting like teary eyed. It's like, oh, what's going on? And then as I get
Wow.
closer to the center of the city, we were staying in an Airbnb pretty central. And so like it just kept getting more and more powerful all the way to Bashar and Bashar himself even more powerful, and then a ship coming down more and that's even more powerful. The energies just kept increasing and increasing and increasing.
Oh my God. And then really good energy, I'm sure, like ecstatic waves of just feeling
Yeah.
good, excitement. And um, oh, I had one question. I was curious about because you mentioned the permission slip about opening of that portal.
Mhm.
Was like what would you imagine like a portal is like kind of like a window or a gateway. Like what was supposed to come through that portal, if anything? Or what
um
think there.
yeah, well, I mean, what I could talk about what we experienced. What Bashar specifically said isn't fully come to mind. But he was talking about it's like the energies, the frequencies, you're like inviting beings, something to that extent. He's way more particular and articulate.
Right.
For our group though, like for me, it like I've done a lot of Kundalini yoga, and it reminded me of like I had my eyes closed, we're all oming together. Like I said, it was like 11 people when we started, and like I felt like I was like a yogi or like a monk in a cave, like I don't know, hundreds or thousands of years ago, and like I've been here with these people, like doing it all before, you know. And then
Wow.
like I want to say multiple people in the group, maybe like three different people started doing like a light language thing. So they were speaking in some, foreign language in a sense, and and like one person would say a bunch of things and it was like a total energy coming off them. And it felt like they were like an ancient ancestor sharing something. And even though I didn't really know the words, like the
Yeah.
tonality and the expression of it felt like, oh, you know what, this person's really excited. Or and then another person would be talking, it's like, oh man, they're like sad about something, and another person, it's like, oh, they're kind of like happy, angry, like whatever, right? So you could like hear the tonality, and a bunch of different people were doing that. And someone had their eyes open and said there was like a hummingbird that came down, and then there was like
Whoa.
birds like spiraling around above us. And
Oh my God.
yeah, yeah, and the energy just like
Oh,
skyrocketed. Oh, and then this like wind started blowing, and it got all
whoa.
super windy. Yeah,
Oh my God. It just sounds like there was so much things happening all at once, probably with all these people. And each person in the Bashar community, I think, is almost like their own connections to different ETs or whatnot. And bringing them all together, wow, there must have been so many just different portals and things in the energy just happening all over the place. I can just visualize almost like there was an ecstatic just dance party in the sky astrally, probably like around this whole event or something. It just like, whoa.
yeah,
Yes.
yeah, totally. Like the energy, I don't even really try to put words to it. It's like it was so strong and palpable and exciting, and uh, I'm at a loss for words, but
uh,
it's so tangible.
Hell
And
yeah.
like when I'm hanging out with my like manifesting friends, like everywhere we went, there was like synchronicities and people showing up with this just the right moment with this piece of information. And then we go somewhere else, and then I meet the same person over here, and you know
Yeah.
like the people we hiked with on the very first day were like the people we found at the top of the mountain.
Right, right. Okay, yeah, I can imagine there must have been all kinds of synchronistically crazy connection stuff happening as well there. I just with everything going on.
Yeah.
So wow, yeah, Kent, this has been a really great conversation. I really appreciate you coming on here and just kind of giving us a glimpse into your Sedona experience. Like I can feel the energy coming off of you, and wow, I really appreciate you wanting to come on here and share this experience. Not only in a conversation with me, but potentially for other people that didn't get to go, maybe fans of Bashar, to get some of that experience or that some flavor. I'm so appreciative of you coming on here and wanting to share a little bit of this with us.
Yeah, my pleasure. Thanks for inviting me. When I saw your message about it, I was so excited to reach out. So thank you.
Totally, yeah. Yeah, I've been really excited about just having these open conversations with different people. So definitely so great to get your story here and opening up this portal to this conversation. And yeah, so I'm I would so love to have you come on again if you were wanting to, and we can talk about that. I think you've just got like a great energy, and I have a feeling you have more stories to tell. So if you ever do want to come on and share another story, I would be so ecstatic to have you on here
Oh,
again. And um, I wanted to give you a chance. Is there, do you want to share anything for people to get a hold of you or anything like that? Or like your coaching services, maybe? Do you want to share that a little bit? And
um,
I'll also put all your information, people, in the description of this video. All Kent's information where you can contact him on social media will be in there too. So you'll have a way to get in touch with Kent here.
oh, awesome. Thank you. So first, I would love to have more conversations with you. Lots of stories.
Cool.
And then yeah, so I have a TikTok channel. It's my most active thing. Um, I don't. I think it's Ken Peterson coaching. I'll get you the exact spelling and everything. I have a Facebook group. I did that for a few years. The group has like 500 people in it. I do from time to time free group coaching calls.
Oh,
They're
cool.
kind of like Abraham Hicks hot seat style, and my main sources I call from are like Abraham Hicks Bashar and Dr. Joe Dispenza and other teachers.
Hell yeah.
And then I also have within there, I spent like a couple years like uploading short videos and stuff like that, so that's all in there. That's called Manifesting Mastermind. I'll get you the links for that. Um, and then I also have like a scheduler app where you can hire me or whatever. And I have like a Linktree page. It also links to maybe like 100 of the testimonials I've gotten.
Hell yeah.
Um, yeah.
Just from talking to you a little bit, it sounds like you've got a lot of experience behind your belt with contact related stuff, spiritual stuff, and multiple teachers' backgrounds. So it sounds like you got a lot of richness to share here.
Oh, thank you. Yeah. So yeah, I'll get you all the exact spellings and links for all that stuff. So thanks for asking. Thanks for having me.
Perfect. Yeah, and we'll put it all in the description so people will be able to connect with you. Yeah, I thank you so much, Kent. Really appreciate you for sharing with us today, and hope to see more in the future, more connection in the future.
Yeah, oh, yeah, I would love to. Just keep in touch and reach out. We could schedule another one of these.
Cool, awesome.